Let's demystify the Highline. I'm going to show you how to break down a Highline into basic components. Now keep in mind there are several ways of accomplishing every task I'm about to show you, and that's going to necessitate having multiple videos on how to do this, okay? But what I've accomplished here is, what I've made here is a sample Highline between two trees, okay, that are fairly close to each other, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, I've got a weight on here, and as you can see, the weight travels along the Highline. Okay, so how do you create this? Now, mind you, this is just the basic first steps of a Highline, and I've done this on purpose to make sure that you can understand what's going on here. Okay, because once we start throwing in control lines, reeve lines, and stuff like that, it gets complicated very quickly. So today I'm going to focus on the track lines, okay, which are these two ropes right here. That's all we're going to focus on with this video, are these two track lines, because your weight, your load has to travel on something, and that's going to be the track line. Now we can have a single track line, which is one rope. We can have a double track line, which is what I have here, that's on top of each other, or we can have a double rope track line that is next to each other. Okay, and the reason I have these about a foot apart is to accommodate this device here, which is a Petzl reeve, and it allows me to incorporate two ropes. Now you can also get two of these and put them back to back for a double rope system also. Okay, so I don't want to muddy up the water too much just yet. There's multiple ways of accomplishing this. Okay, so I'm going to break it down and show you how to create a track line and how to tension a track line so you can actually carry a load. Okay, and it all starts with your first anchor. And my anchor is this tree, obviously, and I am just doing a tensionless hitch, which allows you to maintain the full strength of the rope, okay, because there's no knot being impinged upon, even though there is a knot here. Okay, so what I've done is I've wrapped it at least 3 times. I've got the bare minimum of wraps for a Highline, okay. I got a good 3.5, 4. Ideally you want maybe an extra couple wraps, because there's going to be a lot of tension on here. Okay, so now what I've done to save carabiners is I've just tied a basically a running bowline around it with a Yosemite finish. But if you don't like doing that, having, you know, rope on rope, you can always, hopefully this doesn't become too untensioned, okay, you can simply just tie a figure-8 knot, and take a carabiner and put it around just like that. Okay, and then go ahead and cinch that down. Okay, so that's another option. If you don't like this option, you can go with this option. But the point is, it's a high strength tie off, and it's a tensionless anchor. But this rough bark, this rope grabs very well. Okay, that's step 1. Now if I were putting these two ropes together, I would just obviously have one on top of the other, so this would be right here. Okay, so those two could ride together. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to find your other anchor, and basically you're going to be creating a 3-to-1 to tension this. Okay, so I've got a safety here. I'm going to undo that. I'll show you what I've done here. Okay, so basically this is a 3-to-1 haul system. Okay, now here is where there might be a little contention here. Some people advocate no more than a 2-to-1 to tension these systems. Others say you can use a 3-to-1, but you can only have one hauler. Okay, so don't grab this rope and have 3 or 4 people pulling on it. Okay, because you can overtension these track lines, and you don't want that, because if you look, my weight has naturally found the center of this system. That angle that is created by the weight pulling downward matters, okay, because that angle is going to determine how much tension are on these anchors. And if you made this so tight that that isn't able to deflect, that's going to put a much higher increase in tension on your anchors, which may make them blow. Okay, so, but that's another video. Determining what kind of tension you have in each of these. Okay, today's goal is to show you how to create your track lines, but keep in mind you cannot over tension these. Okay, you have to have amount of sag in this system, because that sag determines the amount of tension that is placed on your anchors. And the longer you go with this, the easier it is to create sag, because just of the natural stretch in the rope, and just because it's so long. Okay, hopefully that's clear. Don't over tension your track lines, because you want sag in the system. So if you're going to use a 3-to-1, one person only tensions this system, and it's just basically pulling it. And I've already tensioned this, so I don't have to do much. Okay, so you do it for one, and you do it for the other one. Okay, so once you have this tensioned, just bring that up here, because you may need to retension the system at some point, or when you're going into the breakdown stage, you may need to tension it to release these prusiks. Okay, now if you're confused about triple wrap prusiks, tandem, that's another important issue. Make sure these are tandem. Make sure there's 2 of them, not just one, and you know how to tie them properly. Okay, now all this stuff here, I have other videos on this, so I don't want to have to take 30 minutes to show this. Check out my other videos if you don't know how to do this. If you don't know how to make a 3-to-1, you don't know how to tie a triple wrap prusik, watch the other videos. Okay, now once I have this tensioned, I'm going to come here and I'm just going to tie a simple butterfly knot. Okay, in case these words slip, and you can either put another carabiner in here or just put it in here. Okay, all right, so this is going to catch if these words slip. Okay, and I've done it for both of them. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now this is a very short span, probably 30 feet, 35 feet. That's very short for a track line, for a Highline. So keep in mind when we do these for real, it's going to be much longer. And there's going to be a lot more rope in play, and it's going to be a little bit harder to do what I just did. Okay, so, but basically that's it. That's the track line. Okay, this is if you want to go with a single track line, which is one rope, just imagine taking one of these out of the system, and then you can use a single carabiner, not a single carabiner, single pulley, just like this. So imagine this is out of the system and you just had this. Okay, now if these two ropes were together, you could use something like a kootenai, which is this oversized pulley, and it'll hold two ropes in here, and it'll slide along the two rope system. Okay, imagine this rope is right next to this rope. Or you could use a double pulley and put it just like that. Now mind you, when you use small pulleys like this, like this device here, this pulley here is designed for Highlines. Notice all the different holes, if you put control lines into it, what have you. Whereas if you just use a double pulley or something, or a single pulley, you're going to have to get much more creative if you put control lines. Now a control line, which I'll be in another video, is nothing more than a rope system that allows you to pull your load in either direction. Okay, either lower it or raise it. Because if I were to drop this weight, it will naturally find the center and it'll stop. Okay, so that is how the most basic way of doing a track line for a Highline system. Start it with one anchor, do a high strength tie off, tensionless anchor, do a simple 3-to-1. One person tensions it, and then you're off to the races. Okay, I may break this down and show you the double rope system, just so you're clear. So stand by for that. Okay, so here is a double rope system, like I was referring to earlier, and nothing's really changed other than our two tie-offs are close together, and on the other end our two haul systems are close together. Okay, nothing's changed here. 3-to-1 detention. Got two butterfly tie-offs in case the press slip. The 3-to-1 haul system is on standby in case we need it again. And this time we're using a large kootenai pulley, which rides on both ropes at one time. Okay, so you still have that redundancy. Just the ropes are in different positions. Now, up here I put a double pulley in. You can also do this. This is also an option. Although, again, with a small pulley like this, if I have to put control lines in here, it's going to be hard, okay, to fit everything, unless you put like an anchor plate or something in here. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so this is video 1 on Highlines, and this is nothing more than how to establish a track line. Now keep in mind this track line might be between two edges of a canyon. You're trying to traverse a canyon, or this might be on an angle. You're going down a hill, like, I don't know if you can tell in front of me, there's a big hill. You're starting at the top, you're going down, then you're coming back up. That's another option. There's all kinds of reasons for doing a Highline. So anyway, video 1, track line. Make sure you get it right. It's very important because everything depends on this track line. Okay, this is it for video 1. Until the next one.